Hey, it's Coach Ben from Online Soccer Skills, and today I want to talk about the U.S. men's national team. And we had a couple players in the comment section there asking us, what do we think about the U.S. national team? And today I just want to make a video that breaks down our developmental system, and I also wanted to give my opinion of what I think the U.S. is right now with our youth system as well as our national team. This way, if you live in a different country, you can see how we do it here. And this is something that even a lot of Americans don't know about. So the first thing I want to talk about is our youth system. And if you think about it, soccer is the most popular youth sport in America. And I'm talking about between the ages of 5 and 12 years old. And there is a massive kind of breakdown at the age of 12 because there are a lot of other sports that are offered. And there's baseball, basketball, football, tennis, golf. And a big reason why players go into other sports and they drift into other things is because they haven't specialized in playing soccer yet. And if you look at any other countries out there, especially Spain, England, these players are being groomed at a very young age to go play professional. They're playing with the best players early on, and they're not being distracted by playing other sports. And this is in my head, this is a problem that when players get to the professional level, they don't have the amount of experience that other players in other countries do. And one of the things that can be switched and can be changed is there needs to be more of a professional type of system out there for youth players so they can focus on soccer. They're getting the right training. They're playing a lot. They're not just playing once or twice a week in their clubs. They're getting a lot of practice. And this is something that other countries do, which is why the youth systems in other countries are a lot stronger than ours. And the next thing we're going to talk about is the academies that are set up. So right now, a lot of the Major League Soccer, the professional teams, they have academies that are under their programs. And these are set up very well in my head. They're getting the type of training that I never really got when I was younger. And they're playing against the highest level competition. They're traveling a lot. And these are great opportunities for players to get that kind of professional type of feel. But a lot of that isn't happening until players are 14 years old. So if you're waiting till you're 14 years old and then you get that kind of experience, look at the other countries that we talked about. They're getting that type of experience at a very young age. And that's where there's a big gap between the US and other countries, is it doesn't get that serious here until the age of 13 or 14. And that's when they have these stronger academies. And the other thing I want to talk about with academies is, a big problem I see, and I even look at the city that I'm in right now, in San Antonio, Texas. There are so many players who are not able to play in those academies because they can't afford it. It's something that is pretty expensive. Some of the MLS academies have done a great job of funding money for players who can't afford it. And if you think about it, if we're trying to form the best national team, we need to find the players who are hungry, the players who want to train hard. And a lot of times, these are players who can't afford it. And the last thing I want to talk about is the professional leagues that we have. Right now, we have the MLS, the NASL, and the USL. And those leagues have gotten so much better, I would say, over the last 5 years. There's players from other countries now that are coming to play with us. And the level of play has gotten better here in the US. But in my head, if we're going to have the best national team, our players need to be competing in other countries. And if you look at the other leagues, the Bundesliga, the Spanish League, the EPL, these are leagues where every single game is a big game. And every game, players are under a lot of pressure. And it's very rare to find any player on our U.S. national team playing in those massive games. And that's something that we need. We need players that are going overseas, that are getting that kind of exposure playing in those big games. That way it's going to help us have the type of experience we need when we get to the World Cup. And you notice even our top players are playing here in the MLS, and they're playing at a level that I feel like is comfortable for them. And I really feel like if we're going to take the next step as a country in the World Cup, our players need to be playing abroad, and they need to have a bigger challenge. And I even think even if they're getting less playing time, the quality of training that they're going to be getting playing with those other players is going to be a lot better than what they'd be getting here. And that's not to take away from the MLS or the growth of professional soccer here. And that is at an all-time high right now. It's very popular. They're showing it way more on TV. They used to never do that when I was younger. And the growth is great, but I still feel like the top players on our national team, they need to have that challenge playing in other countries against the top players in the world. And that's how we're going to get better. So these are 3 ideas that I've been thinking about, because I feel like if US is going to keep getting better, it's all going to start at the youth level. The players need to become more serious. They need to focus on soccer and get way more touches, have way more practice, and they can't be distracted. Like, if you want to get to this level, you can't be distracted and play other sports. You have to dedicate a lot of what you do to soccer. And if you are getting distracted playing other sports, there's no way you're going to be able to play at a level as someone like Messi, because he's playing one sport his entire life and playing in one academy and playing with the best players. And these are the types of things that we need in order to get to that level. And also with the academies here, there needs to be a better way to fund money for players who can't afford it. Because if we're truly looking for the best players out there, we got to be able to help those players who can't afford it get into those systems so they can get better training and they have better opportunities to get to professional soccer. And then lastly, with the professional leagues, we talked about it. If we really want to get to the next level, our best players need to be playing abroad, playing against better competition. All right, if you enjoyed this video, click the thumbs up button. And as always, subscribe to our channel. We have videos pretty much every day, Monday through Friday. We're gonna have videos like this. We're going to have skill videos, tutorials, anything you can think of related to soccer, we're going to have on this channel. So make sure you click that subscribe button. That way you stay updated with all of our newest videos that come out. All right, I'll see you next time.